Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Brooks, and as a psychologist, I've been worried about humanity for a while now, probably like a lot of you. But I think I found an answer that gets to the heart of the problem and reveals the most skillful pathway forward. And once you hear it, I think it'll resonate with you as well. Let's start with this. A house divided against itself cannot stand. These powerful words, spoken by Abraham Lincoln on the eve of the Civil War and inspired by the teachings of Jesus, resonate with a newfound urgency in our interconnected yet divided world. As we face mounting global challenges and unprecedented political polarization, we stand at an inflection point in human history. Doesn't it feel like we're living in an increasingly mad world? Despite millennia of progress, we face problems so alarming it's as if we're regressing. Our technological triumphs, rather than elevating humanity, seem to be unearthing ancient tribalism in new forms. What is going on here? This evolutionary progress paradox is perhaps best captured by Harvard biologist E.O. Wilson, who said, "The real problem of humanity is the following. We have Paleolithic emotions, medieval institutions, and godlike technology." We are hurtling into a sci-fi world evolving faster than our ability to comprehend, let alone adapt. In our relentless pursuit of progress, we've boarded Starship Humanity and we've launched ourselves into the cosmos at an ever-accelerating rate without a map or destination. Here is the staggering irony, folks. The very progress we evolved to achieve has engineered a digital world we didn't evolve to inhabit. A truth we fear to admit is that the pace of progress has finally exceeded our ability to adapt to it. As physicist Albert A. Bartlett observed, the greatest shortcoming of the human race is our inability to understand the exponential function. Think about this for a second, folks. Our progress has created a mad world that's beginning to drive us all a little mad. We are devolving into tribalism. This evolutionary progress paradox presents a critical dilemma that necessitates unity, and here's why. We cannot solve collective problems with divided approaches in an interconnected world. It just doesn't work. How are we to resolve this paradox? Well, to paraphrase the late great cosmologist Carl Sagan, extraordinary challenges require extraordinary unity. The solution to our evolutionary progress paradox is found in the unity imperative. Now, the unity imperative isn't just some lofty ideal, it's the skillful progression of our entire evolutionary journey. It marries science on one hand and spirituality on the other, revealing them as seemingly opposing fingers pointing to the same moon of truth. Now, historically, science and spirituality have offered conflicting answers to the big questions of life. Why are we here? What is our purpose? But what if they're complementary and we're always meant to be? Now, our unity imperative is composed of three parts. The first is our evolutionary purpose, which is to survive and see our children thrive. This means neutralizing any existential threats to our species. If we fail to do this, if we trigger a global catastrophe through our own actions, we fail as a species. All the beauty, triumphs, and potential of humanity would be for naught. We simply cannot allow that to happen. Now, the second part of the unity imperative is our spiritual purpose, which is to love our neighbors as ourselves. This timeless teaching is at the heart of all major religious and wisdom traditions. It extends to everyone, transcending our artificial boundaries. As Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh said, "We are here to awaken from our illusion of separateness." When we combine Part 1, our evolutionary purpose, with Part 2, our spiritual purpose, we get our unity imperative, which is to fulfill our evolutionary purpose to survive. We must embrace our spiritual purpose to love our neighbors as ourselves, and this means everyone. In our interconnected world, we must transcend that which divides us to ensure our collective survival and thriving. This is the essence of our unity imperative. Here's the heart of the problem, folks. The tribalism that served our evolutionary past now threatens our very existence. The truth we all know is this: we are one species, Homo sapiens. We are one race, human. It's time we internalize the deepest of truths. We are all members of one tribe, humanity. Within our interconnected world, we are all neighbors. We're navigating this shared journey of life together, even when we're doing it separately. Physicist Albert Einstein captured this profound truth in a touching letter to a friend who had lost his son. A human being is a spatially and temporally limited piece of the whole, what we call the universe. He experiences himself, his thoughts, and his feelings as something separated from the rest, an optical illusion of his consciousness. The quest for liberation from this illusion is the only object of true religion. The unity imperative calls us to level up to greater unity because our shared world demands it. But you might ask, how can we overcome humanity's greatest obstacle, ourselves, to achieve our true potential? What could possibly be intelligent enough to help us transcend our division and solve the problems of modernity? What could it be? Enter artificial intelligence. Yes, AI, folks. It could be the greatest tool in our imperative for unity. By harnessing AI, not for power, profit, or political gain, but to overcome tribalism, we could address our thorniest shared problems. The power of AI can magnify humanity's best and worst qualities. Now, the degree to which we unite in AI's use will dictate whether it amplifies our collective happiness or magnifies our shared suffering, as you can see in this graph. Here's what we can do, folks. To begin harnessing AI for good, we the people can transform our political landscape through a unity pledge, a commitment for politicians to prioritize reducing polarization. By supporting only those who honor this pledge, we create a powerful incentive for unity. This grassroots approach could transform our political landscape from divisive and counterproductive rhetoric to collaborative problem solving. By reducing polarization, we can repurpose that same time, money, and energy towards improving lives. The dangers of polarization were captured by one of our founding fathers, John Adams, when he wrote, "There is nothing which I dread so much as a division of the Republic into two great parties, each arranged under its leader and concerting measures in opposition to each other. This, in my humble apprehension, is to be dreaded as the greatest political evil under our Constitution." Our unity imperative awakens us to a profound truth we already know in our hearts. It's that love is the highest good. This timeless wisdom transcends all barriers. It resonates within every human soul and unites us all at our very core. Unity flourishes through love, the transformative power that reveals our reflection in others and inspires us to treat our neighbors as ourselves. By embracing our deep interconnectedness, we fulfill both our evolutionary drive to survive and our spiritual calling to expand our compassion. Love becomes our bridge across differences, our light through darkness, and our strength to overcome our greatest obstacles. As Martin Luther King Jr. noted, we are all tied together in a single garment of destiny, caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. And whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Our shared purpose, then, is to overcome the barriers within us that prevent us from loving our neighbors, which means everyone, as ourselves. By widening our circles of compassion, we ensure our collective future. Life is moving incredibly fast, folks, and right now humanity stands at an existential fork in the road. To fulfill our purpose, we must choose free will to create the unity necessary to manifest humanity's highest potential, or risk our very survival if we don't. The greatest liberty we could ever know is freedom from fear and hate, coupled with freedom to love. Love and freedom, far from being at odds, find their fullest expression in each other. In this way, greater unity becomes both our imperative and our path to greater freedom and love. As my favorite band, U2, teaches in passionate anthems such as One and Love is Bigger Than Anything in Its Way, love empowers us to transcend our divisions. This understanding echoes the timeless truth Jesus shared, "A house divided will not stand." This warning reveals an even more powerful truth in its converse: a house united will not fall. This is the essence of our unity imperative. It's an urgent call to action born from the timeless truths we've always known yet never fully embraced. My fellow human beings, now is our time to level up. Folks, if these are truths you already know, please share them. By spreading this message, you become part of a movement that could create the brighter future that we've always imagined. Which makes me think, what if we could use the power of AI to actually create the world that John Lennon could only imagine? United we stand, together we thrive.